What's up, everybody, and thank you for listening to Mastering the Mindset. My name is Dariusdotch, and I'm an actor, hip-hop artist, and fitness and life coach. And I'm here to personally help you train and improve your mindset so that you can, 1, become the best version of yourself mentally, and 2, gain focus and motivation to be able to take action and achieve the success in life that you want and deserve. Before we get started, please like and subscribe to my channel, and at the end of this episode, if you liked it, please share it with a friend or a loved one or someone who would benefit from hearing this message. I'm so glad you're here, and I'm ready to go on this journey with you, and that journey begins now. All right, welcome back to another episode. Today we're going to be talking about progress, not perfection. We're going to talk about 3 different things when it comes to perfection. And I've touched on this topic before, but it's a good one to talk about again. It's a good topic to be reminded of again because we're not perfect, and sometimes we need to be shown the same thing again after a while. So 3 different areas of perfectionism, and also how perfectionism actually doesn't exist. I'll give you a couple of steps on how to deal with it, how to deal with perfectionism, because perfectionism can be a big reason or one of the main things that holds you back from making progress, from your dreams, from your goals. So let's dive in. And I'll be honest with y'all, this is a concept that I still struggle with. I'm working on it. I'm getting better at it, but I'm human. And some things just need more time and attention to correct or get better at. Because look, I'm an actor, a hip hop artist, and a content creator. You know how easy it is to get caught up in trying to create the best content or the perfect mix to a song, or the perfectionism I can have when it comes to rehearsal and how I think the scene or my character should go, right? I'm constantly battling perfectionism. The best social media posts, the best video edits, the best ads, I struggle with it. But let me tell you this, and this is a new concept that I'm trying to embrace as well, but 90% done is better than 100% done. Yep. 90% done is better than 100% done. And this is something that's important to realize, and it goes along with the idea that done is better than perfect. For example, let's say I'm writing a song and I want to get it 100% perfect. And I get it to a place where I feel like it's 90% perfect. That 90% is actually a great thing. It might take you a few hours to get something to 90% perfect, but it might take you another few years to get it so perfect that you feel like it's 100% perfect. That 10% you're trying to achieve, that you're going after, at that point, after you've gotten it to 90%, it's so hard, it's so particular, so damn near minute that it has to take longer, right? And when you get to that 90%, whatever it may be, a song, that project, that painting, that post, that last 10% you're trying to reach may not actually ever come. And you'll spend so much time trying to get it perfect that all the time you spent trying to get that last 10%, that time might double, it might triple, or even longer. And that amount of time you spent on it, if you would have just finished it, would have been way less. Done is better than perfect. If you're the kind of person like me, then you want greatness. I know you do. You strive for that in yourself. And when you notice that your stuff isn't perfect, it holds you back from putting it out into the world. And if I'm not putting it out into the world, then people aren't being impacted by it. For example, like this podcast. Not this episode, because I won't do it on this episode, but let's say it takes me about an hour or 2 hours to get an episode done. And let's say I plan it, then I get it done, and I decide I want to make some changes to make it perfect. Then I keep looking at it and I keep changing it. Now, a couple of days have gone by, and I could release it, but I want to make sure I give y'all the best episode possible on that perfect topic I want to talk about. And then I keep planning and I keep tweaking. Well, now all this time has gone by when I could have just spent the normal amount of time I normally spend on it and give you something to the best of my abilities for you to consume and to enjoy. Because who knows, that message I had for that day might have been exactly what you needed to hear on that day. Now, in reality, what our perfectionism comes down to is this. It's hidden fear. If I have this product that's 90% done and I want to work on it till I get it to 100% done, there's usually some kind of fear when I put it out there, if it ain't perfect, it'll be judged, or I won't be accepted, or that you'll look at whatever it is I put out there and think it's not good. And this is what drives most of our perfectionism: fear. I'm going to dive into that in just a second, but I want to touch on 3 areas today when it comes to perfectionism. The first thing you should learn is that life ain't this constant trajectory of forward progress. No, it's 2 steps forward, 1 step back, 1 step forward, 2 steps back, 3 steps forward, 1 step back, and so on and so on. You're going to make mistakes. Whatever it is you're putting out there in the world, whether it's a podcast, a painting, music, a project, a presentation for work, whatever it may be, you're going to make mistakes. If you have health and weight loss goals, let's say you want to lose 20 pounds. If your goal is to eat healthy 7 days a week all the time, you better believe you're going to mess up one of those days. You're going to have that piece of candy, that bad food. And at that point, you have 2 options. And the best option is to forgive yourself and give yourself grace. Because let's say out of 21 meals, on that last meal, you had a slice of pizza. What a lot of folks do is they only focus on that one slice of pizza they had, and they don't look at the other 21 other times they showed up for themselves. We guilt ourselves and we shame ourselves. We beat ourselves up. And sometimes, unfortunately, we allow that to demotivate us. And we say shit like, well, shit, what's the point of me trying this? Look at me messing up again. All I'm going to do is keep messing up. And then we quit, or we fall off. And we don't celebrate those other 21 meals or the 4 times you actually worked out last week. A lot of folks are going to beat themselves up for that one slice of pizza, for one moment of weakness. What we have to do is focus on the good, on the progress that we've made. Now, I ain't saying that it's okay if you say, well, okay, I forgive myself already. I'm going to have 3 more days this week where I eat pizza. No, you still have to keep your discipline, but get to the point where you understand that you don't have to win every time. You have to win most of the time. You don't have to make the right decision every single time, but you have to do it the majority of the time. And no, not just 51%, because that's technically most, but you know what I mean. Don't let that one moment here and there ruin the way you think about what you're doing. Celebrate the success you've been having, not that one mess up. And when you do mess up, the thing you should be doing is making adjustments. You realize what you could have done better, and you recalibrate and you get back to it. Like for me, I make a daily plan every day. And on this plan, I write down the things I need to get done today to get me closer to my goals, as well as things I just have to get done that are important. And lately, I've been finding it harder and harder to actually get all the things done. I either run out of time, or I'm just too damn tired mentally to keep working on things. And I realized that I needed to make an adjustment. Why? Because I'm in a position that I've never been in before. I'm in a show, which means I have to be there at the theater 6 days a week with 5 shows every weekend. I'm also in the middle of working on my music, as well as planning music videos and releases for those music videos for 3 songs, coordinating studio time, right, for my most difficult songs, and still running my fitness business, which I haven't been doing any of the tasks I need to actually grow it lately. And on top of that, I'm running this podcast and trying to make social media posts every day to keep the algorithm on a positive side, so I can still reach as many people as I can. And when I say fuck me, I be so damn tired. And so I realized that I have to make adjustments. I need to slow down on my daily plan. Duh, right? But I didn't get that at first. I would kind of beat myself up like, come on, Dotch, you better than this. So what did I do? I thought about all the months when I was checking off everything on my daily plan, and I was at the most productive position or productive state I've ever been in. And I still am, really, because even though I'm not checking off all the things off my daily plan, I'm still in the show and keeping all my other stuff in the air. So I celebrate that. And I had to stop beating myself up, right? So now my plan is to lessen my workload during the months when I have a show. And once the show is over, then I can wrap it back up. And that's fine, as long as I'm moving forward, right? Not making as much progress during a show, but I'm still moving forward. So focus on the good. Focus on the progress. What's up, what's up, what's up? I want to take a quick moment to say thank you so much for listening to this episode, and to also let you know that this podcast is 100% donation driven, which means it's completely funded by you, the listener. So if you like the content I have to offer, I would love it if you can make a donation and you get to pick the amount. I left links in the description of the video as well as my homepage. You can choose which way benefits you the best to donate. And if you need more options, please feel free to email me at dariusdotch@gmail.com. That's dariusdotch@gmail.com. Again, thank you so much for being here, and let's get back to it. So, word of advice, don't use perfectionism as an excuse not to finish something, whatever it may be. You have to look at it and say, okay, let's say this painting. Am I basically done with this painting? Would this presentation take another 3 hours to make it 5% better? Okay, if that's the case, then I'm done. And be done, and that's it. And when it comes to those mistakes, that one mistake that you might make, that one misstep you might have took, the thing about growth is it's hard to see when you're growing, right? When you're experiencing growth. Kind of like if you have kids, right? Or you live with somebody when they were younger. Maybe your spouse, when their bodies start to grow or change. Because you see them every day, you don't always notice it right away. But when your friends see your kids or your family member see your kids, they're like, damn, you're getting big, or you're losing weight, right? And you really notice it whenever you look at old pictures and you see how those kids used to be so tiny, and you're like, oh, look how small you used to be, right? You got used to how they are now and aren't thinking about the growth. Only what's in front of you. You see it every day. And that's the same thing as your growth. You don't notice it because you see yourself every single day of your life. But we have to change this. We have to not only look through that windshield at where we're headed, where we want to go, what we're working towards, but we also need to look in the rearview mirror too. Not to look at the bad shit, at our mistakes, but to look at how far we've come. When you look back 4 months ago, 5 years ago, and say, look how far I've come, it gets you excited. It makes you feel that progress. It gives you motivation to keep going. And when you do celebrate yourself, the thing that won't happen, that can't happen, is complacency. We can't have complacency, but we need to have happen is a spark inside of you that wants to do more, that gets you in your headspace of, okay, I did that. Let's see how far I can take this thing. That was going to get you more driven. So all that was the first area of perfectionism, not wanting to mess up and wanting it to be perfect. The second area is that achievement of your goals is actually accomplished through baby steps. Very similar to the law of 1%. And what that basically is when you go to bed at night, you want to be 1% better than what you were when you woke up this morning. And the ideology behind that, which I completely agree with, is that success ain't a couple of massive events that happen in your life. Success is a culmination of damn near countless teeny tiny boring things done every day. That's it. Really, those small tasks you do day in and day out, those things that when you break them down like they should be, are small, actionable items that you wake up and you complete step by step, small action by small action. And that 1% every day, getting better, small steps at a time. And imagine how much better you can be if you decided to try and be just one small, teeny tiny percentage better each day. How much better you will be by the end of the year. So when you scroll on Instagram and you see somebody who started their own business and is doing way better than yours, it's not about that. It's about where your business was when you first started compared to now. How much progress you've made in the past few months. And you say, you know what? I have grown. I have been putting in the work and my business is getting better. How can I celebrate that? Same thing with weight loss. If you're trying to lose weight, you're not going to lose it all in a week. It's going to take time. Let's say you want to lose 60 pounds. It might take 6 months. It might take a year. It might take 3 years to get the body you want. but it's the progress that matters. It's you getting better every day, getting yourself closer to your goal. Get used to the idea of waking up and setting your intentions on trying to get just a little bit better every day. What can you do today to get better? What can you do today to get you closer to your goal? And I've been guilty of this too, but we got to stop using the excuse that we don't have enough time. Because if you really and truly sit down and honestly think about it, if you take a moment and look at how all your time is spent throughout your day, we have way more time than we think we do. All of us get the same amount of time in a day. And the truth is that some people, the highly productive people, they manage their time better. They walk through their day with more intention. If something is really important to you, truly important to you, you're going to find a way. You just will. And if it's not that important to you, or if it ain't as important as you think it is, then you won't find a way. How important is it for you to have a better life? How important is it for you to better yourself, to make your significant other's life better, your kids' life better, your mama? I heard this quote the other day that it's kind of harsh, but I'll be damned if it ain't true. It says, if it's important to you, you'll find a way. If it's not important to you, you'll find an excuse. If it's important to you, you'll find a way. If it's not important to you, you'll find an excuse. How do you need to change your schedule? How do you need to change your intentions throughout the day? We can all feel like we don't have enough time. But think about this. Think about your week. And think about what you did every 15 minutes for 15 minutes at a time. And I want you to really think about that. Think about your average day and break it down into 15-minute chunks and what you do in those 15 minutes. How many times did you scroll on social media for 15 minutes? How many times do you eat and just sit there for 15 minutes? How many times did you take a dump and sit on the toilet way after you finish because you're still looking at your phone? How many times did you take that long ass shower? How many times did you go walk around Target just to pass time or spend money on stuff you don't need? How many times did you spend 15 minutes talking on the phone, talking about nothing in particular, or gossiping or complaining about something? Now, I'm not saying that every second of your day should be dedicated to you putting in work, but 15 minutes here and there, 30 minutes here and there will add up. And those few minutes is actually way more time working towards something that you haven't been working on at all, right? And what do you think is going to happen if you just attempted to work on that thing for 15 minutes here and there? You're going to build momentum. That 15 minutes is going to fly by and you'll still want to keep working. You won't be satisfied. You want to do more, right? Try it. And I'm serious. Set 4 15-minute chunks aside tomorrow to work on something and see what it does. And I'm serious. Really plan it and be specific about the times throughout the day. 4 15-minute chunks and see what happens. Now, I'm not saying that this is sustainable and it's going to get you all the way to the success you want. You're going to need more than 15 minutes at a time soon, but it'll at least get the ball rolling, right? It'll at least get you moving in the right direction. So again, that's the second step, achieving your goals by taking baby steps, getting 1% better every day, and understanding that your goals take small actions day in and day out, not some massive event that'll bring you success. And the third thing is, and you might already know where I'm going with this, but perfectionism ain't real. Your perfectionism doesn't exist. It's fake. It's a mask you wear to cover up some kind of fear, something you're afraid to put out there in the world, some fear of rejection, some fear that you'll be judged or looked at negatively, some fear that whatever that thing is just won't be good enough, whatever it may be. You're afraid. Imagine if there was this painter and they had all these paintings in their garage and they've been working on all of these paintings for 10 years. And one day you're in a garage and you say, damn, bro, look at all these dope ass paintings. These are dope. Why ain't you putting these out there? You could sell this stuff. And they say, it ain't all the way done yet. They're not perfect the way I want them to be perfect. But to you, you see it like, bro, what the fuck is you talking about? This is good. Why do you think they're not putting those paintings out? It's because they're afraid they're going to put it out there. Let's say they have an exhibition and people show up and people are going to be in the crowd and they'll hear somebody say, this shit sucks. How much does he want for that painting? They're afraid of what people will think. Not that they feel like it ain't done, that they didn't do enough. Hell, they put in a whole lot of work on this art. But it's that fear that people won't like it. And that's the same thing we do when it comes to us being quote unquote perfectionists. Fear. Because what's worse than that, right? To put your heart and soul into something and then get rejected. To have people think it's bad. Something that's important to you, right? That's real, right? That is a real fear. So when you call yourself a perfectionist, it's not that you feel like it ain't done yet. Not that you don't think it's finished or perfect. It's you're afraid that you'll do it, show it to the world, and people will reject it. So we all live our lives holding ourselves back, holding on to things. Stop listening to that perfectionism. Ask yourself, what is that fear? What is it? Then ask yourself how you can get past it to bring yourself out and show the rest of the world who the fuck you are. So that's what I got for you today. If you like this episode, please share it with somebody that can benefit from this, somebody who is a friend or a family member, somebody who has goals and is trying to improve their lives. So thank you again, and let's get it in.